And if you see someone else that sparks are going in a dangerous place, you should tell them. Hi, welcome. Be fire conscious. Welcome to Knox Makers. That's your lesson for today. It's Tuesday night. We do show and share every week. We have cookouts once a month. I hope you all had enough to eat. We also come in here and show off our projects, talk about things we're working on, something that we've totally screwed up, something that we need help on, and we have a list at the front of the room. And first on our list tonight, we have Zoe, who has a whole garden.
Okay, so I just put a garden on there, but I appreciate hyping it up. I've been up here before. We were talking about the deer fence that we were building for the garden, so this is where we left off. We had one post in the ground. He's still up there to this day. Actually, he's over there. But I realized last time I did the show and share and I was talking about the deer fence, a lot of you guys probably thought I was super dumb because I didn't specify that this fence is not solid. It has wire mesh. There is no wind load on the fence, okay? So it's okay that it's 2 feet into the ground. I just really want to set the record straight on that so you guys know that I'm not being naive. Okay, anyway, and it can hold him, so we're good. So we built a lot more of it. There is me. There is the fence. And yeah, we put in all the posts and we started laying the cross beam things. I don't really know what the right word is right now. It's escaping me. But we started putting those on there. But we made a minor miscalculation, which is called scope creep. And basically what happened was we were like, with this same amount of lumber, we could make it so much bigger if we just don't cut any of these 8-foot-long pieces, which is true, except for the tolerance on putting a post in the ground is not precise. And so some of these were really long and some of them were really small, so we didn't actually have space to screw the cross beams directly into the posts like I wanted to do, which is how I learned what pocket drilling is, and that's what we did instead. And it was actually pretty fun. I kind of liked it. I was like, new tool, new tool. So that was really exciting. I love to impulse purchase things. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the support. Tools especially, right? Okay, so then here's us. Oh, also, this is the retaining wall that my husband said would be super easy to build. And it actually kind of was. It just depends on your definition of super easy. Yeah, it was good. It was fine. Scope creep. By the way, we're going to make a bell. This is a different show and share, but we're going to make a bell called the scope creep bell, and we're going to ring it every time one of our projects scope creeps. It's just a fun little side project. Anyway, I'm really getting off track. Okay, 3 minutes. I've got 3 minutes. I've already used all my time. Basically, this is the fence, and then here's him building the fence also. I was also building the fence, but I wasn't doing that. And here is all the plants that took over our bathroom floor for approximately 2 months. And then what happened was that all of my tomatoes became root bound because the fence was taking so long to build, and a lot of them died. But I got some of them. I ended up buying earth boxes and just putting them in that because we still haven't built all of the raised bed. Also, there's one mild hatch chili on the hack rack for anyone who wants it because I don't have any space to plant it in. So if you want a mild hatch chili plant, go get it. It's on the hack rack. So then we did build one raised bed, the small one. Basically, it's like a big garden, a big rectangle, and we have like a sea of raised bed. But there's 2 entrances because scope creep. So it's like a C with a notch out of the bottom. So we built one corner. And then I planted, wow, the color on this is terrible. Anyway, I planted some snap peas because they were about to die and the cool season was almost over. Just to see if anything would try to eat them, to find out if the deer fence was worth it. And nothing has eaten them. The deer fence is still not done, but their deer haven't been eating anything, so I guess it was not worth it. And here is me planting them. And then I made the rest of it into a strawberry patch. This is a picture of the strawberries. Oh, yeah, and then we stained the fence dark brown, and it looks way better now. And I don't have a picture of the whole thing stained dark brown, but we did stain the whole thing dark brown. And then here is the picture of my first strawberry. Thank you. Isn't it so, like, perfect looking? I love it. And it was also very tasty, and I actually ate it. I was trying to bring it to show and share, and I ate it on the ride over. So, yeah. I did not succeed. And then I planted, okay, I don't actually have a picture of the finished raised bed. I tried to get some of my winter greens in there before the warm season started, but I didn't succeed. They all died. And then I planted more strawberries here. I just didn't get a picture of that. And I planted 3 pepper plants back here, and I also didn't get a picture of that because I forgot to take one. So yeah, that's my show and share. Sorry for going way over time.
That was lovely. Next time, bring a strawberry for all of us. Yeah. Next on the list is Earl, who has a leather bag.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? So I made this leather bag. Now, some of you might be surprised that it's not a wallet, but I encourage you to think of it like a wallet because it kind of does the same thing. So I made this for a friend that does Renaissance. So they were asking me for a bag. It was a little offensive. They said, hey, I don't know if you can handle this. And I said, okay. So I found a pattern online for a fabric bag. I didn't take any pictures because I like to live in the moment. And also, I don't know, I just forgot. I like to really think about the next step and then proceed to do that step incorrectly. So in this bag, I have a block of wood. Disregard that. But it's fully lined. It's got 2 little pockets. That's very neat. You can store a lot of stuff in there. I don't know what they'll be storing in there. And the thing that I guess I like the most about my little bag is that I tried a new, I don't know what to call it, like threading thing that I can do with it. So if you look very closely, there we are. If you look very closely, you'll see that the thread actually alternates in color. Oh, yeah, I know, yeah, right? And then, because I don't know how to count, I kind of messed up on the bottom here, so you'll see that this looks really nice and smooth, and then this gets messed up. And that's because, well, basically, I don't know how ratios work, and they're hard. And I did that all over this bag. I tried to at the very last second. I thought, you know what? I can make it look like there's little feet here, and then on the back here, maybe I can make it look like one big one so that it stands up on its own. That didn't work out that way, but that's okay. So that's my bag. Are there any questions? No.
How long did it take?
Multiple hours, probably like 7 hours. So it took a while. I haven't showed it to them yet. I certainly hope so. So.
With those 3 pockets, when you've got stuff in them,
Uh-huh.
can you still bring the flap over and does it keep the dome? Or?
So that is actually why I had this big old block of wood in here to test that. So the answer, in short, is I have no idea, but I certainly hope so. And if it can't, well, I guess we'll, well, does it clip now? That would be embarrassing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. Hang on a moment. There we go. Look at that. And that's it. That's my bag.
Next on our list, we have Vincent, who has steel etching of a fence. No?
I actually built most of that fence, but that is not what we're here for. So I am in the long process of gathering all the materials to do aluminum anodizing at home, which is kind of a nasty process, but it looks really cool. And along the way, I discovered that with almost 0 materials and a basic power supply, or even a a couple 9-volt batteries. You can etch stainless steel. Ooh, first try on guessing the direction of the zoom. That's never happened before. So anyway, this is very simple. It is salt water, and then you need to make sure that you connect a DC power supply or source of approximately 12-ish volts, such that you have the positive end, which is the anode, because it's flipped for electrolytic cells, to the plate, I think. You just pick whichever one makes it work, and if you switch it, doesn't work, you swap them, and you'll know, because it'll turn the wrong color. But the actual strategy here was I spray painted this whole thing white, because white spray paint has an inert pigment in it, and you can barely see it. And then I penciled in a picture of a black-billed magpie, which is a neat bird that does not live in this area, and then scraped off some of the paint with a chisel thing, etched it for a while, scraped off more, did it again. The parts you want darker, you etch more. The parts you want lighter, you scrape off last. And then finally dunk it in acetone to get rid of all the paint. And then I gave it a light buff. Craziest thing happened, I was buffing and all these sparks, but it was not me actually. No, I buffed it at home with like a cotton ball and basically toothpaste. And I buffed it as light as I possibly could, and I think I over buffed it. It actually kind of washed it out a bit. Yeah. So, any questions? Yes?
How did you attach one end to the plate? What do you do on the other end? You use it like a pin or?
Pretty much. Yeah, I had a popsicle stick that I wrapped in like a elongated cotton ball and dipped the whole thing in salt water, and then alligator clips do the rest. So. Other questions? I'll ask one. I was going to say that. Surprisingly short, actually. This took a total of like an hour and a half, not counting the time it took the paint to dry, which is like orders of magnitude less than any project I usually do. So that was really quite refreshing, actually. So. All right. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Next on our list, we have Pavel, who has sewing and stained glass.
So I just recently learned how to count to 1, so only one project. So sewing only. I made a jacket. Yeah, it's my first sewing project actually. Yeah. Oh, fashion show. Okay. I don't know if there's a camera or anything, but it's a jacket. It's a little short. So my girlfriend taught me how to sew for like 3 hours, and then the first thing I did was decide to make the hardest pattern I could find. I don't know how this. Anyways, so I think it took me about 30 hours in total. I started before it got cold, and then I finished after it got warm. So, yeah, I can't really wear it now, but we'll see. I'll maybe get to wear it next fall. But in true maker fashion, I think I have to point out all the flaws in it. So this is the one I'm most frustrated at. It's just a little thing that you can't see when you're wearing it, but it's frustrating because I missed it as I was making it. So, yeah, lined jacket. Question?
Can you show off the pocket?
Oh.
I thought that was incredible for the first
Okay. This was the first thing that the pattern had me do. So after 3 hours of sewing, I decided to start on a pocket. I think this is the second pocket. Hey, that's the first one. Yeah, it works. This one is a little bit more messed up in the corners, but still a pocket, so.
Where did you find the material?
There's a store in town, I forget what it's called. I think it's like foam, rubber, and something supply. Yeah. I figured out that it's upholstery fabric after I started making it, so it works.
What's the interior lining made of?
I'm pretty sure that's 100% cotton. Again, from the same store. I don't know anything, so. Okay, well, thank you.
Very impressive. Next we have Tim with a little video game player.
Hello, hello. All right. So I bought a screen about this big for a computing project that didn't pan out. So I needed to reuse it for something else. Another thing that I wanted to do was introduce my kids to some of the 90s, early 2000s video games that I played, but I didn't quite trust them yet to fiddle with cartridges and do that whole thing. So I made this little guy out of that screen and a bunch of hack rack parts and stuff like that. So let me see if I can show it on here. Will that show up? Nope, always wrong. All right, well, there, perfect fit. I found this switch in the electronic zone and thought that was a nice satisfying thing to turn it on. This knob was also from the electronic zone and it clicks in and out, so I used that as the mute switch. Let's see, I wanted to get my kids involved in making some part of it. So I found a controller kit online that somebody makes where they make the circuit board and then you can 3D print your own little case for it. So while that boots, let's see, showed that. So my kids got to pick their own colors and we threw it on the 3D printer and they got to be a part of making the thing themselves. And it runs a version of Linux on it called RetroPie. There we go, it's booting up. And it lets you play old ROMs of games that you, of course, legally own. And yeah. So let's see. Plug in a controller and I'll show you guys one and then I'll show you a 3D model of it. There we go. So you get to pick some games that you load on there. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to start it up, but I will show you kind of what the inside looks like. Let's see if this works. All right, that's a little bit dim. My phone's not great for CAD. If I can get the lighting just right, maybe I can show you guys what the inside look like. Boop. Here we go. So in real life, there's a 3D printed skeleton inside. I didn't want to do any soldering or any custom micro chips or anything for this one, so I 3D printed this skeleton for it and just threw in all the components that go on it. There's a spot for a speaker, there's a spot for a little Raspberry Pi, there's a spot for the screen on the opposite side that it screws into, and then I just 3D printed a case around it. And let's see. So there's the components mocked up. That's a Raspberry Pi 2.0. That's an HDMI converter that also outputs sound so that you can get sound out to a speaker. That's a little speaker driver right here. And here's a USB hub that I found on the hack rack that made it real easy for me to just plug in USB controllers. That's my project. I really like the Sega Genesis, so a lot of Sega games, Sonic and stuff like that, Comic Zone, stuff like that. Yeah.
Billy always asks if you can play Doom on it.
That's not ready for it yet.
How old are your kids?
6 and 7. Yep. All right. The others? Yeah.
What's the body of
This. It's 3D printed plastic. So yeah, it's PLA filament. It's just I had brown and black at home and felt that that gave a good, nice CRT TV kind of look to it, kind of like a wood panel, and a nice little kid-friendly handle on top. Yeah.
How long does the battery last?
It depends on the battery. So I just have a little battery powered or little lithium ion thing in the back. I just gave it a USB-C port. It doesn't have any of its own charging circuitry, so you can either plug it into the wall and be sitting next to the plug like in the old days, or just if you have a battery, then you can do that. Yeah. Yeah.
What did you do the modeling in?
Onshape.
Onshape, okay.
Yeah. So this one, FreeCAD wasn't yet at 1.0 when this is ready, and this had a lot of models based around other models. So next version I would want to do in FreeCAD, but this one Onshape is a little bit more stable for like building things off of other things.
So what, between Onshape and FreeCAD, what would FreeCAD have that Onshape doesn't have?
FreeCAD's open source and has a lot more, it's actually a lot more powerful in general, has a lot of engineering tools that Onshape might not. Onshape is browser based, so you can, like I just loaded it up on my phone, but it is closed source, proprietary. If you have a free account, it's open to the world, which I was okay with. So like this is, you know, the files are available to the public, which is kind of was my intent in the first place. But now that FreeCAD's in 1.1 and moving and getting kind of a modernized interface and all that good stuff, that's what's going to be what I'll be doing my future projects in. Yeah. Yeah, in the back.
Are you a genius?
Yeah. Nope. All right, thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. There we go.
Last but not least, we have Greenho, who has a gravity bar.
Hey guys. So I'm doing a class at Dogwood Arts Festival this year, and this is the most difficult class I do every single year. I spend literally the entire calendar trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do for this stupid class every year, because it's a lot of fun, but the requirements for it are wildly challenging. If you're not familiar with it, it's a series of classes that they do at the festival, under a tent, on fold-out tables. You have to take 20 people who are not capable of doing anything through an entire class in 1 hour. And the material requirements are really challenging, just like from a price point standpoint, so it really limits what you are capable of doing. So the first year I did a three-legged stool, last year I did whistles with everyone, and this year I'm doing gravity bars. If you're not familiar with the gravity bar, this is what it is. There's a lovely family business in Canada where the guy sorted out how to make these things, and I'm probably not doing him a solid by taking away his means of paying, rent and stuff. But I reverse engineered his design, and what this is, it's basically an art hanger. So inside this thing, it's a bunch of individual components. There's a bunch of, you can either do ball bearings, this one has marbles in it. And the concept is you can put this on a wall, and you can take artwork and stick it in there, and it just holds it up. And when you want to tip something else and put it in there, you just stick it in there. And so you can just swap it out indefinitely. Oh, there you go. So like whatever you want. So, if you got a lot of different Christmas cards or whatever, it just holds them forever. So the marbles sit on a ramp inside there, and it doesn't matter how big or small it is, they just hold it. So this year I was graced with the 10 a.m. Friday morning time slot. So this is going to be one of my classes that doesn't sell out. So if you want to jump in on it, Friday at 10 a.m. I think the tickets are only $10. I can tell you I have more money into each one of these than that, so it's a wild deal. I made up 40 sets of these things, so I've been milling for a number of days now to like prepare all the individual parts of this. But it's a really cool project. I'm using pretty much all my old scrap wood from the last year. But yeah, come check it out. Yeah. And whatever I have left over, I'll probably do a class in here as well. So if you miss this one, I'll keep running classes until all the stuff's gone, because I really don't need 40 of these. So, any questions? Sorry, what? Like in a couple days. Yes, yep. It's supposed to be lovely weather. Yeah. Thanks.
Well, that was a perfect transition into my first announcement, which is we're going to be at the Dogwood Arts Festival at the Maker Experience this Friday and Saturday. We have 3 classes. We have greenhouse class. Matt and Ashley are doing stained glass jewelry, and that one is sold out, I believe. And then Sue is doing a macrame keychain, which she will be demoing tonight. If you're here and you stay a little bit, 5 minutes afterward, we're going to be building those tonight, so you don't even have to go this weekend, although you could do both if you want. We're also doing a couple demonstrations there. Joe is doing a metal demonstration, and Matt is doing a stained glass demonstration. So if you're at the Dogwood Arts Festival anyway, check out the art, come by the Maker Experience, say hello. It's a good time, no matter what. My other announcement is, if you haven't noticed, we have a new gallery wall in the arts and crafts area. Thank you for everyone who helped put that together. The problem with the gallery wall is that there's still empty spots on it. So it's not meant just to be for arts and crafts. They want to put all kinds of art on it. We want to put all kinds of art. Any zone, all kinds of art, anything you've made here or at home or whatever. If you want to talk to someone about putting your art on the gallery wall, you can talk to Matt. Matt, can you wave your hand afterward, and he will help you mount it or tell you when you can put it up there or whatever. So talk to Matt about the gallery wall. Otherwise, go look at everyone's art and check it out. Upcoming events. Woodworking authorization this Thursday, a daytime class at noon on Thursday. So if you can never make the weekend classes, we have a daytime noon class on Thursday. And then Sunday, we have a Nibblerbot class at 10 a.m. So if you've been wanting to get on the CNC machine, that's this coming Sunday. That's it for classes that have open tickets, but we have a bunch of social times coming up. So this Thursday night, we have As the Lathe Turns. So if you're into wood turning, you can come and hang out with all the wood turners here and compare tips and tricks. On Friday night, we have Cam Jam. So if you want to learn how to make an amazing retro gaming thing like Tim, then you can come to Cam Jam and talk about 3D design. And then next Thursday, we have new member onboarding on the 30th. So if you're a member, or if you're a trial member, if you're interested in becoming a member, if you want to know more about Knox Makers, it's required that you come to that at some point to get your key. So come down next Thursday, learn about the organization, and learn how to become a member. And then tonight, as I mentioned, Sue will be leading a beaded keychain class. Sue Anthea will be leading a beaded keychain class right here. So we're going to take a break for about 5 or 10 minutes, grab some dessert if there's any left, come back in here, make your craft. And if you don't want to make a keychain, please help clean up the food. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night.